So earlier Scott said if they produce one, he's not even interested in selling it for the $40,000 price tag they go for.
I was curious on that.
So look at the very back of the tail. You see how the tail's over and under on one to the other?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's a lock.
Cue sexy jazz music.
Yeah, actually, yes. That would be very appropriate.
How long does this process last?
They'll stay locked for about 2 days.
No way.
Yeah.
Dang.
I didn't know snakes had sex for 2 days.
Well,
they don't have the same stuff.
it's not like really having sex. It's just that the hematopenis is locked into the other cloaca and all the semen's going back and forth. Lots of exchange of body fluids.
Wow, wonderful.
The male and the female lock. They basically lock tails. That's copulation. Basically, the male's exchanging semen, and that can last up to 3 years inside the female. She can retain that semen inside of her and possibly use that for future breedings.
You learn something every day.
Did you know that? You know the 3 years? You playing Pokemon Go?
No, I was just looking at my technician who's still out there catching possums. So I did know that there was semen retention, but it just dawned on me how careful you have to be if you're trying to produce a specific animal. You could be dealing with semen from 2 years ago and not get what you want.
Yeah. Can you imagine if humans worked the same way?
Maybe they do. Scott and Jordan are going to want to do a giveaway with this clown. And this is a really beautiful, just a gorgeous animal. Look how awesome those
I
little
wonder why they
alien
call them
heads.
bald pythons.
Yeah, why do they call them ball pythons?
It's weird.
I've got some that will go against that.
All right, we are at Genetic Genesis, and if you want to talk about ball pythons, this is the place for ball pythons. We've got Jordan and Scott, the two main partners at Genetic Genesis, and we're going to walk through all of the genetics and the care and everything we need to get beautiful baby ball pythons.
Let's make some beautiful babies.
Let's make some beautiful babies.
This female that Jordan's had for about 15 years, we've never really locked her up, and we were trying to find ones that had good ovulations yesterday to ultrasound to look at their follicular development. She's got them at 4.5 centimeters, which is almost like within a month of laying. There's not been a male over there.
Just strictly a vet.
So, but there is actually at the zoo, was that St.
Louis Zoo.
2 years ago?
2 years ago.
3 years ago, they had a
parthogenic.
40-year-old ball python that had a parthogenic clutch.
What? So it means she's had semen inside her for a very long time, and she laid viable eggs. That's what it means.
Actually,
Well, actually, parthenogenesis, they don't have to have semen. They can
asexually
ovulate.
reproduce.
Yes.
Asexual production.
Yes.
Enjoyed it.
Do we have other phenotypes that we could put out to show?
For the record, I have no idea what any of these guys are talking about right now.
Well, so younger.
red stripe.
Okay, good.
That's-
Good.
He's gonna look better anyways than the regular
Yeah.
one, so we can pull him out and put him on the table.
Do you understand what we're saying?
I've never been more confused filming with Michael in my life. If you guys didn't know, we don't do any type of snake breeding at Wildlife Command Center. Most of our snakes are rescued or just fun critters.
We don't breed anything. And what's really funny is Scott and Jordan are really into getting the right snakes together so we can see the phenotypes, which means what does the snake look like to our untrained naked eye?
So this is a red stripe, inchy, yellow belly clown, so you've got 3 codominant genes there and 1 recessive gene.
I'm just sitting here with my mic that looks like a rat, and it's like feeding time for them.
I was going to say that.
This one right here looks like it's hungry.
So then this is just red stripe clown. So you've got 1 codom and 1 recessive on that one. And then same thing, this is just an inchy clown. So you've got 1 recessive and 1 codon. Your inchy, kind of like with the juvenile there, pulls up everything. The red stripe is what gives it the red pattern, which as adult fade out a little bit.
So for our first pairing, what was the 2 that were locked up?
This is better than science class.
Right?
The mom and dad of that one, this is mom, like I said, so she was just het clown.
Okay, so het means she's not actually showing
She's not showing the visual.
phenotype. Yeah, so you really can't see what is lurking in her genetics. She's what we say heterozygous.
Heterozygote.
Yeah, and so if you breed back to her, then you are going to produce a certain percentage of animals that do look like the red stripe, right?
Sure. The red stripe is what we call a codominant genetic, and the clown is a recessive. And so I'll pull out, push this one back.
Just keep putting snakes on the table.
Same clutch. The only difference between these two, they're both red stripe, they're both inchy clowns, is the brighter one's got that third codom, the yellow belly, where this one doesn't. That yellow belly will really brighten everything up.
Might get really bright.
Yeah. With the technology advances with ultrasound and watching follicular development, you can actually reduce your breedings down to usually 2, at most 3 locks between a male and a female, whereas prior to that you were doing it once a month for about 4 months to make sure you had good take of semen transfer. Now we're down to like 2, so you can put a male to 8, 10 females a year now.
This is the inchy het clown. So this is a female that's an inchy het clown. This is a visual inchy clown, and so this is a male visual inchy clown. So clown, you can really see the pattern reduction. So that pattern really comes up quite a bit and changes overall. So this is an inchy clown versus this is the heterozygote form. You breed these two together, and you're most likely going to end up with about 50% being clown, and then probably about 25% of those clowns having that inchy pattern. Some of them be in the super form because we have inchy on both sides.
So that's huge, Cole, whenever you're doing the edit, because this snake
And we've got a plain
actually
clown.
resides inside this snake.
It's inchy, not itchy?
Inchy.
Okay, great.
Inchy
just-
clown.
Just for a comparison between the inchy where that draws a pattern up versus just a plain clown, you've still got a pretty dominant back stripe on it.
This is a really good example
You're-
of a clown too, by the way.
There you go.
So see, those alien heads are really blowing up on a plain clown. Inchy really takes those out of the picture.
So this is a yellow belly clown, so it's got that brightening gene in it, but other than that, pattern wise, just a plain clown.
Yellow belly also,
Gives
you're
you a
going to give
checkering.
a nice checkering on the side right there down
All the
belly,
way.
versus a belly on a normal.
It's not as much of a pattern all the way down the sides.
And then especially on an inchy, the
Mm,
belly is
nothing.
very clean.
I love these guys. These guys are awesome. Like, they don't get so scientific about it. They make it easy to understand. And they know what they're talking about.
I think they just identified their audience. I mean, keep it really simple for this guy over here.
So a couple years ago, Justin Kabelka down in Georgia produced what they called a Pompeii.
Pompeii, as in the island that got covered in suet.
Right, because he took
Volcano red.
red stripe, yellow belly, spot nose, black pastel, clown, 4 codoms and 1 recessive, all balled into one animal.
5 genes all jam-packed into
And
one
it makes
snake.
this orangish, black, red clown. But
She's got 3 of the 5 are in her, plus an additional one.
right, plus she's got fire, which will be additional, which fire is another kind of like yellow belly, is going to brighten things up. So we'll put her with the red stripe. So we'll get red stripe and the yellow belly in there, and it's only like 1 in 32 chance of hitting that Pompeii. There's only been a few of them hit, but
These two together, this one's missing the yellow belly, but we do have a male with yellow belly.
This animal is just beautiful. Look how dark.
yeah,
Contrasting that.
So the black
Black
pastel's
pastel,
bringing that out quite a bit. The
Yeah.
darkening. The spot nose, you can see those spots on the side really start to accent all the way up versus a normal clown. They're a little bit more splotchy.
she's actually just getting ready to go into shed. It'll be her pre-lay shed because she just ovulated 2 weeks ago. So this, after she sheds here in another week or so, we'll be looking about 30 days roughly.
So if you were to use the ultrasound on her,
They'd be
could you see the eggs?
Yeah, they'll be
Oh, really?
huge on her.
Do you want to put this little guy up?
Step 1, lube.
Yes. Each one of those, you can see right there is an egg.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's so incredible.
Those big black spots are eggs?
Yeah.
Yep, so we can freeze it real quick and then we can measure actually.
It's 4.7 centimeters right now, and that's, I mean, about where they are. Like I said, she's due to lay.
So in layman's terms, that's about 2 inches across, or so,
Nice.
give or take.
I've been kind of stopped up lately. I don't know if you could maybe check my gut with that thing real quick. So make sure I don't have anything. Seriously, though.
Well,
So this snake is earlier
So
in the
she's-
egg laying process,
Yeah.
so the eggs are going to be smaller.
Yep.
Yep, so right now those are called follicles until they ovulate, and then that's called follicles. And so what we're looking for is these little black circles right here on the screen. When we freeze those, we're probably close to
6.5.
0.65, so 6.5 millimeters across. And so when we get to about 10 is when we want to start that locking process. And so slamming rats every week, eating really healthily, those follicles are just growing, growing, growing. Once they reach 10, we start pairing a male in and hopefully get up to around 4. And by the time they hit 4, that's when they're in that ovulation stage like we saw earlier. About a month or 2 later, they will lay eggs.
13 eggs?
Well,
Nice.
there's
13 follicles.
follicles.
Follicles,
They
yeah.
won't all necessarily develop all the way.
You're taking a whole lot of the guessing game out of the system. And instead of just guessing and throwing snakes together, hoping they copulate, they've got this down to a process now.
And the whole process, probably from start to finish, takes about 3 to 4 months for locking them up before we even get eggs. And then after they lay eggs, that takes another 60 days or so for them to hatch and actually have baby ball pythons. We probably won't have eggs until Valentine's Day at the earliest. So, I mean, that's a long process from Halloween all the way to Valentine's Day, pretty much.
Yeah, but I'm really glad we met you guys and got involved in it at this stage, because this is like pretty much the beginning. And I would like to have this to be like a yearly series, you know, where we come in every October, we figure out what the pairings are going to be. You know, we go through the process, you lay the eggs, and then you cut the eggs and see what the percentages come out. I mean, that's just exciting. So earlier, Scott said if they produce one, he's not even interested in selling it for the $40,000 price tag they go for.
I was curious on that.
He wants one for his own private collection. And of course, I'm sure use it to breed, breed back.
We've got one line of Azanthics in here. We've got a VPI line, and we also carry TSK, but these are all VPI lines. We're a little snippy
That's all
today.
coming. They said tomorrow's feeding day, and my mic looks like a giant rat. So I've just been waiting for the strike at the camera.
This was a Mojave VPI that we hatched out last year versus this is a Mojave VPI that just came out this year.
I'm very attracted to these snakes.
So you can get,
these two have been
so these
breeded
two would be
together.
the same, and then nope,
No.
nope, these aren't the pairing.
No.
So we're just introducing the gene. We're just introducing Azanthic.
So they're just introducing the Azanthic gene and,
Okay.
and what we're going to be going for. They're looking for, so they want to produce a clown that has no yellow in it. That's the
Right.
layman's terms.
Right.
What's up and coming right now in ball pythons is trying to stack recessive genes together. So that becomes very difficult because, like I said, a recessive gene, you have to have mom and dad both have to have it. It's not a codom. Codoms mean that only one parent has to carry that gene over for it to become what we call visual. This is an example of a visual Azanthic. So she's got 2 copies. This one only has 1 copy of that gene. And so the chances of transitioning that over are very difficult. And so when you do what we call a heterozygote to a heterozygote, so this is mom right here. She's carrying 1 gene of Azanthic. She's carrying 1 gene of clown. This one, dad's carrying 1 gene of Azanthic, 1 gene of clown. What we're trying to produce is making both clowns and both Azanthic genes line up, and that's a 1 in 36 odd chance that would happen. This is a clown, so this is a baby clown, and this is a baby Azanthic. The goal is to put them together so you get this clown patterning with the
this color.
coloring. So
Yep, that's going to be amazing. So you're going to get this pattern with this color if it lines up. 1 in 36 chance, 1 in 36% chance, 1 in 36.
You're really struggling with that.
I know.
that's only a 2.7% chance. So
2.7% chance of producing it. That's what I wanted to get to. That's so small. I really wanted to just show the viewing audience that these two were paired and they were looking for a ball python with no yellow in it. And they produced these, which have absolutely no yellow. As a matter of fact, this is as close to black and white as I've seen ever.
Yeah, it's so strong.
Yeah, it's very, very nice. But you look at the incredible genetics. You take a dad that looks like this, a mom that looks like this, and you're trying to produce young that look like this.
I noticed this one's got like the circle patterning on it too.
So that's the Mojave pattern on that middle one.
Gotcha.
So actually, another one out of that clutch, but this is Azanthic, but it's got the sulfur gene that Dad has, which makes it even a little brighter.
Nice. You know, and this is what makes ball pythons so incredible.
That's a sulfur that's out of that same clutch.
So this is the same clutch. The difference is this one doesn't have the Azanthic gene in it. It's just sulfur by itself, so that's why it's real yellow, lots of yellow going on.
This little guy just needs some loving. That's all he needs. He just needs somebody to love him.
The Mojaves, you get a little more defined in your alien heads, whereas more of the normal pattern, they're kind of blown out a little bit more.
Gotcha.
So
this
these
pairing here.
This pairing, so you've got another one where it's a head-to-head pairing. They are both going to be recessive for lavender albino and the TSK Azanthic gene.
Wow.
So you've got two recessives in there that you've got to get to line up again, kind of like with the clown and the Azanthic. When you get both of them to line up, the Azanthic and the lavender,
This is what you produce.
that's what you get, what they call a snowball. So that is visual for the black and white and the lavender albino.
Ooh, poking the head up.
So, like I said, that one's visual for both recessives, which is the black and white, the Azanthic, and a lavender albino. A lavender versus just a plain albino, and you lose your whites and you get the purple.
Gotcha.
This is just a good example of you got two recessive genes hiding out. You're either going to get a lavender, you're going to get normals, you're going to get Azanthics,
Yeah.
or if you can get them all to land together, you'll get the
Then
snowball.
you get the snowball.
Yeah.
This is the lavender albino, and then this is white
Just a
albino.
plain, yeah.
Yeah, what they consider just plain albino. And so you're removing some of this white and you're replacing it with that fleshy lavender skin tone.
You know, completely different genes. Though.
Right. And when they only lay 20 eggs.
8.
8? Oh, really? Is that the normal 8?
6 to 8 is
Oh
normal.
my gosh. That even makes the percentage smaller.
Yeah.
If you only got 8 eggs.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. So I have had a lot of fun here at Genetic Genesis. The partners here have been so gracious to show us all the genetics, but they've also have a special thing for us. For all the viewers out there, someone is going to be able to win this beautiful baby clown ball python. So the specifics on it are, we want you to go to their Facebook page, we want you to like their Facebook page, and we want you to leave a comment on their Facebook page.
Yeah, there'll be a post with this snake on their page. Go ahead and leave a comment, like their page, and you're officially entered.
Absolutely. And these guys are very big about local. You know, they want to show local, they want to be local, but our subscribers are international. And I want to open it up to the national shipping. I'm going to personally pay to ship if your name is drawn and you're in the 50 states, United States. If you are local, Bare Hands Baran is going to personally deliver this snake to you.
Basically what happened is I guilted Michael into saying he'd pay for shipping for you guys because I wanted you to be included. I know these guys are local in St. Louis, but tons of you are watching around the country, and I think it's pretty cool that he said yes. So thank you, Michael, for humoring me. I appreciate it.
Absolutely.
When we get to 1 million subscribers, we'll start shipping international.
There you go. We'll be like Mr. Beast. Hey, will you buy my ball python?
It's going to be like Oprah, and you get a snake, and you get a snake. Hey, Michael.
So I think this went really
Hey,
well.
Michael.
Yes,
Can
Cole?
we come back?
Yes, absolutely. We definitely can come back because these guys not only are very knowledgeable, but they explain it in easy terms to understand.
And we got to check to see if we win the lotto.
Yes. I want to see if we produce one of those Pompeys. That is going to be amazing.
She'll know you. You want to get bit?
Yeah.
I don't really want to get bit.
The male
But
up
that
there.
is beautiful,
Well,
man.
the scales look different on this one, unless I was just too far away to see them pretty easily.
She's older.
He's needing a little attention still.
This is the most dangerous looking snake I've seen that's not super dangerous.
Well, you know, in the wild, yellow and black are danger signals. I mean, those are danger colors.
So like if you take fire Fire will wipe out almost everything. You end up with
Can you
basically
turn them around so you can see the smiley face?
basically a white snake.
Isn't that the best smiley face ever?
It's
That's
yelling.
that's just right in time for Halloween.
So it'll pull everything
Nice.
up.
When they're born, a male, female, what,
What
they're
they're
eating,
eating.
price, the weight that we recorded.
So I think at some point we should do a long form video on just organization.
Yeah, that'd be crazy. I didn't even realize this is all like
Computer.
QR coded
Yeah.
craziness.
When I walked in, I noticed it. I was like, "That's a
For next time.
The thermostat's hooked in.
Well, that one doesn't, but the new herp stats are all Wi-Fi, so they'll hook into that same program.